What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chud's Barbecue. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, tender, saucy, amazing 2-hour grilled beef back ribs with homemade Sweet Baby Ray's. Coming up. These are some beef back ribs. Pat them dry. Just your classic beef back ribs from the grocery store. Nothing too fancy, but these do come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Sometimes you're gonna see them this size, kind of like a St. Louis cut. Sometimes you're gonna see the whole rib, which are often labeled finger ribs, but I really like these. They cook up super quick. They're still nice and fatty, pretty meaty too. Although that's definitely something to look for whenever you're picking these out, because this is the backside of the ribeye after all. So they're trying to maximize as much steak as possible. So oftentimes you're gonna see a lot of bones poking through and shiners like that, but that is okay. But honestly, this is one of my favorite cuts to throw on the grill during the summer. It's a real quick cook. And how often do you get tender beef that doesn't take more than 7 hours? And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of good fat on there. But as far as trimming these up go, I'm not gonna do anything at all. I mean, if there's a flap like this hanging off the back, I might just zip that off. But really, these are looking pretty much perfect for me, so I think it's time to get these rubbed up. You can do whatever you want with these. Salt and pepper would be traditional, but you know, this is summer grilling. This is a real quick and easy recipe that can go in any direction, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some good old-fashioned chud rub. Just a nice, heavy, even coating, folks. You know the drill. Flip them over, and same on the top side. And usually you don't have to worry about the sides too much with ribs, because you know, they'll get hit anyway, but keep it in mind, because we don't want to forget the sides, folks. And there we go, looking pretty good to me. I'm gonna let these sit out while we get our fire started. All that salt will start to pull out some moisture out of these ribs, creating its own binder, and these should be nice and tacked up, and that rub should stay in place perfectly. So let's fire up the pit. And at this stage, if you want a little extra smoke, feel free to throw a couple of wood chunks in there. Why not? Always ruining my takes. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a pretty unique cook, so we're starting out real hot and fast. Got the coals banked to one side. This thing's cooking at about 300 on this side. And we're just going to go ahead and throw these on. Ooh, sizzle. And as you can see, after a minute or so, letting this fire come up to temp, all that rub is sticking on just fine. Beautiful fit. Gotta love it. So now we're going to let these smoke in here, cook away for the next probably hour or so. Next up, let's go ahead and make a quick barbecue sauce. Starting with some water. Ooh, heat it up quick. And some cornstarch. That's just gonna help thicken this sauce down the road. And just get that nice and mixed up. Next up, we're going in with some apple cider vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce, some ketchup, some molasses. Ooh. A couple shots of some hot sauce, 1 can of pineapple juice. And we're just gonna let that come up to a simmer real quick. And once that is nice and heated up and everything is looking homogeneous, we're gonna go in with our brown sugar. Ooh yeah. Some dry mustard, some smoked paprika, and the rest of our spices, which is salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some onion powder. And a pinch of cayenne for Chef John. And of course, I'll have all the ingredients in the description box down below. But not gonna lie to you folks, all I did was Google Sweet Baby Ray's copycat recipe, and I'm curious to see how it comes out. But right now I'm gonna keep whisking this, make sure there's no lumps, bring it back up to a simmer, and reduce it for maybe just a few minutes till it thickens up. And after a fair amount of tinkering with the ratios, I finally got a beautiful sauce that I am proud of. This stuff is super tasty. Still a little too pineapple-y, so next time I'll probably just do half a can, but this stuff is really close to Sweet Baby Ray's, and I highly recommend checking this out because it is very good. All right, after an hour on the smoker here, these are looking just the way I want them to. Not too dark, but that bark is set, and now we're gonna wrap these up. Beautiful. Got a little bit of smoke flavor on there, but that's really not what we're after. We just wanted that bark to set really so it doesn't get washed out in the foil here. But now, back on the pit these go. Similar temps, right around 300 degrees to really let these steam. And that's what's gonna make them super tender. All right, folks, after another 45 minutes or so wrapped up, cooking away, these things are looking beautiful. I just probed them and they're feeling nice and tender, which is what we're after. And I like to take these really far. These are sitting right around 205, 208 degrees internal. So now I've just opened them up, set them aside, aside, let them cool down for the last 10 minutes or so, and we are gonna grill these off on this beautiful fire. Not much to it, folks. Just gonna pop those down. Oh, those look so good. Just look at the color on that. Beautiful stuff. Got some great bone pullback on there, and this is a pretty hot fire. I threw some fresh charcoal in there, so these are not gonna take long. Just sizzle them up a little bit. This is what summer is all about. Oh, beautiful. Look at how tender those are, just flopping over like a rack of pork ribs. Again, moving nice and quick here. Set those aside, and we're gonna bust out our homemade Sweet Baby Ray's and just go all over these things. I know it sounds weird, folks. You don't usually see sauce on beef in Texas, but I've been making these non-stop for the last few months for anyone that comes to the Chud Shop or comes to the house. And there's just something so nostalgic about it. Get that underside sauced. Give that a real quick sear. Pull those to the side and we'll do the top as well. Oh yeah. Sauce thickened up very well. I actually had to add some water to this because once it cooled down it was a little too thick, but the taste is phenomenal. Love it. Give that sauce a super quick sear. A lot of sugar in there so we don't want it to burn. Literally just a couple of seconds. Love it. Tell me you don't want to take a bite of that. Put this back in its foil and set them aside and let them rest. Rack number 2. Looks and sounds like we got ourselves a little thunderstorm rolling in. Got dark real quick. Really doesn't take much time. Such a quick and easy and very fun cook. Mop away. Just got barbecue sauce on my foot. Good thing I don't wear white shoes. Beautiful. And now, just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with one final little shellac here, one final glaze with our sauce. Oh, they're looking so pretty. I'm going to let that cook on for probably about 5 minutes. And there they are in all their glory, folks. And of course, if you got any extra juices in your foil, oh wait, oops. Oh no. Don't mind if I do. We're gonna have to rush this ending, folks. There is about to be a gully washer. Let's go ahead and slice some of these up, shall we? Really not hard to miss the bone here, folks. And there we go. A beautiful, tender, smoky, juicy little mini beef rib. Look at that. We even got a little smoke ring on there. It is incredibly tender, nice and saucy, and just, honestly, it's one of my new favorite bites and the perfect bite for summer. Love it. I mean, really, what's not to like here, folks? A 2-hour cook for some really nice, tender, saucy, juicy, amazing, smoky little beef ribs. Pfft, sign me up. Oh, oh my God, that is absolutely phenomenal. Truly, I don't want to say it's one of the best things I've cooked, but I can't stop making them. They're so tender, so juicy. That sauce, phenomenal. Brings me back to the 90s. That is so good, so good. Really big lightning right over there. Let's hope I make it. Thunder coming. Even this little end guy, how cute. It's so good. It's so barky. It's still just as tender as a regular beef rib, but completely different flavor profile. I know they don't sauce beef much in Texas, but these grilled ribs, worth giving a shot. Oh, I mean, come on, that eats just like a pork rib. And I know this technique is nothing new. This is like a real Chili's or 90s way to cook something where you wrap it really early so it kind of steams the bones, but it's phenomenal. Let's get into this rack. See how this one came out. I mean, tell me that's not the bite of the summer right there. Big, meaty, barky, saucy, quick and easy. Oh, it is 6 p.m. and it is dark. I can hear the rain, but it's not here yet. Like I said, I've been making these for a while, and to be honest with you, this all stemmed from my first time going to Chili's, at least the first time in the last like 10 years with Jeremy Yoder and Joe Yim a couple months back. And just that super tender, not smoky, but saucy rib really caught my eye, and I just can't stop making them. This is what summer grilling is all about. This method works phenomenally with baby back ribs too, by the way. Highly recommend it, folks. You know, the back rib doesn't get much love in the barbecue world, and for good reason. You know, you don't get much meat. It's kind of hard to feed a crowd, but like, if it's just me and a couple of people, and I have a big grill, fill it up with these bad boys, all day long. I don't care about the weather. I'm just gonna keep eating. Y'all gotta do it. Super quick and easy recipe. Not a new technique by any means, but it deserves some respect. All right, I think I'm gonna pack this up and finish the rest of these inside. All right, the ridiculous thunderstorm has finally passed, so now I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely incredible, tender, smoky beef back ribs. I highly recommend giving this a try. This is definitely one of my favorite things to cook. It really is perfect for the summer grilling season, whether you're on a Weber kettle, a PK, or whatever you got, you know? You can also easily just wrap these up, throw them in the oven, throw them on your pellet cooker, throw them on whatever smoker you got fired up, and then just grill them off to finish. And I'm pretty sure this is the only recipe out there that can get you tender, smoky, Texas-style beef that is fall off the bone tender in under 2 hours. Not to mention, you only get 5 or 6 ribs out of this, so it makes for a great weeknight snack or a great addition to any barbecue platter. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chud's Barbecue. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!